So here is my 20 minutes of Tana for today. I'm sending out an email, and so I copied the subject and the email itself, and then I asked the AI, look at the email above and rewrite it for clarity. Use my voice, style, and tone, which I have inside of the system and I've had for a long time. So now I'm actually going to run this. Awesome. So I like that rewrite, and I am going to copy that, and I'm going to insert it. So I click insert, and that's just adds it as a node to what I was actually working on previously. So now I can send that out. So now that I've done that, I'm going back into my due today, and we can see that I have a bill that is due today, and that's on auto pay. So I can just click that as done and get that out of my way. Send the email to my list. We saw I just worked on that, so I can get rid of that one. And so I'm a binary options day trader, and every day I trade. I have a trading plan. You can watch that on my other YouTube channel. I'll post it in the link below if you're interested in that. But it's not relevant to today. But it's something that I do every day, right? And then take pictures of competitor websites and basically just work on the competitive analysis, which is what I'm going to do next. But right now, what are the other things that I'm working on this week? And you'll notice that all of these have numbers behind them, right? And so basically those are part of my system, part of Capture What Matters. This is the what matters part, right? And so I can see how important is this to the goals that I'm working on in my business and in my life. So download the new slides. Now I know with looking at this that that's due on Thursday, but if I didn't know that off the top of my head, I could click into this and notice that it's due tomorrow. So I'm just going to leave that alone. And I'm going to look at my other things. Schedule a call with Michael and Ryan. And I actually think I just did that. Oh, nope, here it is. I'm going to schedule that right now. Okay, so I just scheduled that. So now I can mark that as done. There we go, and that goes off of there. And I can actually go forward in time to that appointment, which has now synced. I want to say sank, but it has synced into my schedule. And here it is right here. I can double click on it. And I'm going to tag this as a meeting. And now I'm going to add a meeting agent. And so what that will do, add a meeting link, put it in manually like that. And now I can add the meeting agent. It's not supported. That is Zoom, but oh, I guess because they're cloaking it. Okay, well, in that situation, what I can actually just do is at the time of the meeting, I can just turn on live transcription, and it will live transcribe the meeting for me. So, but what I wanted to do right now, the reason I actually came here, is that I have me, just put in Michael here, and it knows we're looking for a person because this is a person field, and I also want Ryan Williams. Of Zappa Chat. Okay, So now that is connected in my system to that meeting with Ryan and Michael. And let's go back to today. So at that time, you know, it can just proceed as normal unless he actually gives me a Zoom link. That would be nice too. And let's see where else we are working on today. So I need to send a loom to those people. Okay, I need to do that. Take pictures of the competitor websites. So let's actually show you how I work with my clients inside of Rev. So I actually have one of my clients here inside of Rev, and what I have done is I have set up Tana for them. And in this particular case, I was asking them to give me all of their competitors. And so basically I just created a super tag for them so that they could put the information in that I need. And now I can add more fields and things like that from the information that I learn about their competitors so that we can discuss it on our call today. Okay, so because we're working on this specifically for an Instagram campaign for them, they're one of my RevCRM.ai clients, and I do revenue operations for them. And so what we're doing here is we are looking at the competitive landscape. They are a specialty dog breed called Royal Frenchel, right? And so we're here looking at their competitors. And so what I want to do is I want to go into configure my super tag, because I want to add a new field that I can make notes in. And this one is Instagram followers. And I also want to know competitive notes. Competitive notes. Okay. So these are the notes that I'm going to take on all of these, and then maybe ideas. Do I already have one? Whoops. No, that's not the one that I want. So that's another neat thing here, is that when it comes up with a name that is similar to other fields, yeah, none of these are what I want, so I'm not going to choose those. So now I have everything that I want in here. I may come up with some other ones, but now I'm actually going to go to work, and I'm going to go and have a look at these. So now I am inside of one of the competitors, and if we look back at our notes for today, just a little further back, maybe not that far back, I'm just going to go to today real quick. And you'll notice that what I was going to do, because I know with ChatGPT, I can take a picture of a website and have ChatGPT do the analysis for me. I can also capture the SEO, or rather capture the source code on a website and have that. So at this part, I was going to capture their websites and have ChatGPT give me analysis of that. And I don't actually know whether I can use that feature inside of Tana. So what we're going to do right now is I already set up a chat, and the way I did that, by the way, I'm just going to get rid of that real quick, is just go space, and basically ChatGPT 4.0 is available anytime I do that, right? And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it, if I give you an image, can you analyze it for me? give me feedback. Okay, so we can't do that inside of this thread, so I'm actually just going to go out into ChatGPT, do my analysis, but then I'm going to bring that information back in here in a little bit. So this is where we're going to stop for right now. Okay, so what I'm going to show you right here is how using AI you can get, instead of, we used to talk about a 10x, 10x improvement. Now we're getting hundreds of X improvements, and in some cases thousands. But let's just take this example of this competitive analysis that we're going to do and that we're setting up right now. So at the first part, you envision the way that it's done now. And usually you'd pay a marketing agency to work on this, maybe 100 hours. Their average is $150 an hour. You've got 15K, right? Where now, you'll actually see, as we go back into Tana, we've got a human entering the data into the tool, and that, maybe took a quarter of an hour, right? And then the tool is doing a lot of the work, and then we can just pass it up to somebody like myself, a senior strategic competitive analyst, and maybe I have to have a cursory glance over it, make a few little improvements, and now all of a sudden, that together, we have come out with maybe $80 in cost versus $15,000 in cost, right? So now we have an AI tool that we can use in order to 187 times improve the cost on actually doing something. And so instead of using, so this is the way I want you to look at that, is that instead of using 100 man hours now, right, we've gone to using maybe a half hour of man hours, and the rest is actually done with AI. And, this is why we use the word exploit here, because really, we are exploiting the AI in order to free up our time tremendously, where we are reviewing the information instead of generating the information, right? Because the AI is already trained on these basic things, and so we don't have to use our human skills in order to do that, but we do want to review them because, sometimes AIs can do crazy things and hallucinate, right? But we have tremendously reduced our costs. And so that's really what I want you to understand by using a tool, an AI-powered tool like Tana. It's just really, it really is a game changer. Okay, so now we're back in that competitive analysis view inside of Tana, right? And we can see that our assistant has gone in and done the steps to create the competitive advantage information. And so let's actually open this up. Okay, so basically what she did was she went in and created the image, and I will actually bring these in because okay. So there's our image, and I can drop that right there. And there's our competitor image. And I can drop that right there. Okay. And so what we did was we took those two images, right? And then we asked ChatGPT to do this prompt because Tana doesn't yet look at the images, so it just reads the text. And so that's how this competitive advantage information got into Tana, right? And so now that we have this information in here, what we can actually do, because I've created a prompt inside of Tana to actually have a look at this competitive information, and now I can click on that, and now Tana is going to go away. It's going to read that, it's going to read through the prompt and understand its job in order to provide my client with these competitive ideas, right? Okay. And so now it's come back with some strategic recommendations, right? And, broke them down really well, which is great. And I can take some time here and decide if we are actually going to maybe, create tasks or projects out of these, right? And it's given us some actionable steps. And so right inside of Tana, if I actually wanted to, that's a great idea, right? So maybe I want to create a project out of that. And now it's actually inside of my client's Tana, inside of their project. So now that's actually a project that we can work on. And so really, like I said, this is just game changing that, Tana, and I'm not going to do this because I'm going to review this with my actual client before we decide to do that. But it's just amazing that we can create this stuff, generate this stuff, and have it linked up to everything inside of our business, right? Additionally, in this one, I had or the second step in here, in this one, I guess I didn't put it in there. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Go to the browser, click developer, view the source, copy the source, bring it in. Boom, done, right? And so again, now that we have that information in here, and when we pasted that in there, we pasted it as code. So now we've got the code from both home pages. And again, I have a prompt on this super tag, and now I can click on that. And now we can actually go through and get some on-page recommendations based on these two companies. And you think about how much time, energy, and effort that would have taken in the quote-unquote good old days, right? And so that's why, we're looking at this 187%, or not percent, but 187 times increase, is because we can gather and generate all of that information. And here we go. So now we've got some very actionable steps, right? And I can go through that and review that with my client and decide if that's something that we really want to do, or have we already done that. But it absolutely changes the game on how you can actually work just doing whatever it is that you do when you're working with an AI-powered tool like Tana. I did that by using a super tag competitor, right? And then we have the fields or the variables that you can use inside. Tech people will understand them as variables, right? And then what we can do is, for instance, I'll show you how I actually created that prompt in here. You'll notice that this has a special little thing that lets you know that this is an AI-powered field. And so if I go inside of this AI-powered field, I've created a prompt inside of that field, right? And so basically it says, your strategic advisor hired to review competitive advantages of two companies in the dog breeding industry. I want you to come up with some ideas on what we, Royal Frenchel, can effectively compete with whatever the company name is, right? Please review the competitive advantages below, and so that you can find ways that Royal Frenchel can differentiate itself. Provide strategic recommendations to enhance Royal Frenchel's competitiveness. Create actionable steps, proceed them with that dash to create those clickable items. And here are the competitive advantages, which is that field, right? So it pulls the information from this, and then we have our output. And I can actually go into the prompt workbench. And so, for instance, I used one of these to test with it. And then I can test. I decided I wanted to use GPT-4 with this particular prompt. And I can actually test the output and work on my prompt here until I have the prompt delivering the type of thing that I'm actually working for. So, that is just some of the power of Tana. And if you are interested in me creating a template for your company, this was a specialized template, but I can actually make a more generic template out of this. Let me know. If you are interested in getting certified on how to actually use AI in your work, get in touch with me. So want a template, get in touch with me. You want to learn how to get certified for using AI in work, or you want to learn how to use Tana more, get in touch with me and I will tell you all about it.